with Natasha'ScrapbooKorner. Today I want to come and show you how I'm making my layered flowers. Nothing new, it's repeat of all the tutorials that you've seen around. But for the newbies out there, so you wouldn't do your research on what's not, although I do suggest always do the research, Pinterest or YouTube, I mean, you name it. What I like to do after I'm done basically with a project, I have scraps of trims, laces, etc. Left. Usually I'm piling them, in the jar or the box where I can, I have several of those, like a little remnants of, trims that I haven't used, ribbons, etc. So those are great on using on tiny embellishments, little decorations, stuff like that. Even the papers, when I am cutting out, the die cut, there are areas that you can punch out. For example, this could be perfect for an inch circle punch. And I trying to use them and just bag them in a little baggie, so that way usually I like to use everything right in there. So if I have so many scraps of stuff left, I'm trying to use them on this exact project and send it with a project. So if I'm pressed on time, then I just saving it for the next project and hopefully I will use it. So make the story the video shorter. It's already gonna be long. So what I have left from the project, I had this scrap of trim. This is plaited gathered tool trim from NSK and comes in variety of colors. So after trimming it with it the page, I had this amount left. So, and for another project I had made those type of flowers, and I said, why not, I will go ahead and do a tutorial. So use your scraps for this is something that you want to use scraps. I mean, I don't encourage you to go and cut into your good laces. Please, you can use them more wisely. But after your project done and you have such a, although this one can go really nice on the bottom of your pocket letter or a loaded envelope, you can put some some plastic trim on top that I've been using in a project, and it's gonna look just gorgeous. But I want to make an embellishment to go with my gift that I'm making. So then I looked through my stash of scraps and laces, and I'm deciding which color combo I'm gonna go. My project was multicolored, but it's leaning more in a pastel, soft pastels, so lavender and pink. Therefore I chose couple leaves out of my personal stash, and those I purchased a while ago from Miss Garden Grove. Annie, hi Annie, thank you so very much. Those are just absolutely stunning leaves. NSK carries a couple very simplistic leaves like that, so you can check those out as well. So I chose to work with two tones. One is somewhat matching my trim here, and the second choice of color I went with a pink. So then I didn't have anything in my personal stash. Then I went into my lace stash, and I pulled out the trim looking like this, and it's kind of stretchy a little bit, and this was purchased from Lavish Laces. She recently temporarily closed her store, so you're not gonna find that particular lace in there. She's having a baby, so it's all good. Then I needed, because this lace is a little kind of not friendly to my eye, although it's pretty on the edge, but I want to cover this part. So I needed something overlapping. Perfectly would be the trim that is narrower than this particular one, but I think it will work. So basically you want to create like a layer, you know, one coming above another one. All right, so let me pin this down, but you don't need it because it's very very basic thing to do, and because the bottom trim is already pleated, so you can see it's fluffing out already as is, so which is great. So then it's handy to have something like this, dangling laces. Not particular this one, but you can find several varieties at NSK or any other shops. Really, they carry a lot of dangling laces, like this one. So you can take apart, you can put like a couple dangles here, there. You can split them. This part can take, well, let's add. What the heck, right? So you basically snip in it on a bottom row, right? And my scissors are not fabric scissors, so it's gonna get a little challenging. So and I'm gonna split it apart because I wanted to use in the several parts. So we wind up with like two separate dangles, and then out of this trim, you see how it's all connected, so you can cut out like this segment, and that would be your dangle, then upper segment, this segment. So use it wisely. So I cut out myself this much, okay, and they raggedy looking, and that's perfect. That's really what you want. Then I had some scraps left of the fabric. I was making something, so like this, so I got a little snippet of that. And it has a little bit of sequins in there, which is great, and it's raggedy looking as well, so I want this end dangling. So now I need to redistribute these parts somehow or another. I want them, alright, so I can add this dangle to this part and probably do as a base like this. So that, and I might put it somewhere in here. So in this thing, so I have like 3 segments. I'm gonna put this one together. So 3 segments. I'm gonna put the thicker one in here, and you can play with it. You can put one all the way underneath, one in between two of upper levels. It's absolutely up to you, really. There is, and this we can put on top, you know, like totally on top, just right there. Okay, so I have my thread. It's about the same size of my piece of fabric, but I'm gonna be gathering it. So now we need to connect all these parts together. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing the running stitch. Be sure to gather your pieces in here, grab them, and be sure that your thread is not knotting. You know, sometimes when you twisting, it creates like knots. All right, so so gather. Gather it, we're gonna pull, but not sew it yet together. So we pulled it, and it's already kind of created our flower. So you can do it very simple, connect, you know, and make it like a one level per se, much flatter. What I like to do, I like to not pull it as tight and twist it on top of another layer. And you can play with it right here, you know, how tight. So that's why I didn't want you to close your flower yet. So after you lined up everything and you're happy with what your flower looks like, then you can stitch it through. Be sure grab all layers. Okay. I'm still going out of frame, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to remember that, you know, I'm recording and everything, but my vision, you know, shifted a little bit, so for some reason, I just, you know, want to work close and see. Although I can wear my glasses, but I'm trying not to, because although they help in a lot, but I don't want my eyes to getting used to, you know, wearing glasses. So excuse me. So here it is. It's much more layery and fluffy. So now you need to, because your pieces are here, you know, here and there, you can add more right in there. You know, you can add more. It's absolutely up to you. So don't forget, we have this beautiful leaves, and I would say I want these leaves to go through here. So I'm always trying to poke them through just in case, you know, they you know, I like that, you know, to be on that part. And we're gonna turn them in a minute. So like that. And I think I want the pink ones in here, in opposite, because you see this rough edge right here? It's almost look like unfinished, and we want it to be perfect. So therefore I'm trying to feed it through the lace and in the middle to kind of hide the stems. Okay. So I fed it under white one, but above the pink one. Okay. So that way that's gonna be set. Okay, so I think I am happy with my flowers, you know, flower setup. The leaves look natural and everything. So although we have the stems sticking out right here, you have your heating gun in here, keeping it handy. Use your heating mat. Let me pull it out. And what I like to do, so you flip it and you pour a generous amount of hot glue in the center, like creating that circle, and flip it and press, gently press. Be sure wear your protection. If it's a thicker layer, you're gonna be okay, so you wouldn't burn yourself. But if you're working with a hot glue, wear the, you know, the protection, and you know, they got their fingertips like this, so you can keep them on the fingers and, you know, press. My fingers already somewhat used to hot glue, but yeah, you can use it. So let it cool down. Sometimes I like to put my hand underneath because my hand's always cold. It works to cool down the glue really quickly. So while we are waiting for the glue to you know, warm up, cool down actually, rather, I'm gonna grab this lace a little bit on top here and put a dab of glue underneath of lace so it wouldn't pop out. Okay, so now after the glue froze and cooled down, you can very gently peel, and you're gonna have this really good you know, flat surface. And now you can cut your ends in there of the stems, and Tim Holtz scissors doing wonderful job on that. Be careful not to cut in the fabric. Okay, so there you have it. So now the only difference of your flower will make is the centerpiece. Okay, So if you're not sure where your flower gonna fit, you're not sending it right away with this project. You can leave it as is in order to put the center piece later. But you can use like brooches, you know, in the center. You can use flat buttons or real buttons. I don't have one in handy to show you. You can use the rhinestones, or you know, you can use a rhinestone, or you can use a cameo. Proper size cameo will work in here. So you can keep layering it. You know, you can add the paper rosette in the center and then put the bling on. It's up to you how much you're gonna want to build up your flower. So in this case, I probably want to keep it simple. I found this beautiful button, flat button that I ordered, I think on Etsy somewhere a while ago. I would not know where to, you know, find it anymore. So there are shops out there who making their own buttons, and I would say I kind of like it. So I want that white lace coming up more. So just play with it, and I think I like it like that. That would be my like center. Okay, so, and in this case I'm gonna be putting it on my button because I don't want to glue ooze out, you know, ooze out. And press. Alright, and we are done. Alright, hopefully that was helpful. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.